Now, God willing, come the end of October, we will have a World Series, and I believe it will be between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. This would be an epic World Series, I think. Greetings, baseball fans, and welcome to the Suicide Squeeze Baseball Show. Well, the World Series is set, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I finally called one right. Back in, what was it, July, when this crazy season started, I had the Rays and the Dodgers in the World Series, and I picked it perfectly. Not to brag too much, though, because if you remember, I've been doing videos on this channel for, I think, about 4 years now. I've been doing these baseball videos for about 3 years. I did a prediction video in 2017 in the preseason. I said the Mets would win the World Series and obviously go to the World Series. Those dudes did not even make the playoffs that year. 2018, I had the Indians winning the World Series. They, I think, lost in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. 2019, I said, the hell with it. I'm not even going to try to attempt to predict what's going to happen in the World Series. This year, I gave it a shot again, and I came through. I'm very excited. We'll see what happens as far as if the Rays will win it in 7 games, as I predicted. Am I staying with that pick? Stay tuned. And I also want to apologize for the crudity of my set here. I didn't have time to set up my green screen. I wanted to get this video out as quickly as is humanly possible before Game 1 took place tonight. And even though I'm not a fan of either of these teams, in fact, with regards to the Dodgers, they are probably my least favorite team in the history of humanity. I'm sort of glad as just a general baseball fan that both of these teams are actually playing in the World Series, because both of them had the best regular season record in the American League and in the National League. And I thought this was just going to be a hellish playoff. I thought we were going to see a Marlins-Astros World Series. I thought we were going to have a sub-500 team win the World Series. I mean, the Astros were dangerously close to getting into the World Series. And with regards to me, I know a lot of people hate the Astros because of what went on in 2017 with the cheating scandal. I don't want to get into that whole mess. But to me, I didn't want them in the World Series because these dudes didn't even finish 500 during the regular season. How can you have a team finish under 500 and go to the World Series and potentially win it? I know they were better than their record indicated. I know they had a lot of injuries, but those dudes did not belong in the World Series. And if anybody in the league office is watching this video, I know all of you watch these videos quite frequently, but if any of you are watching, please do not allow these expanded playoffs to continue. You're gonna have a team under 500 win the World Series, and it's just gonna make baseball look incredibly stupid. But getting into this World Series matchup, if this series comes down to offense, if this is a slugfest type series, the Dodgers are gonna win it. I don't think they're going to win it in 4 or 5 games, but ultimately they're going to prevail. I mean, the Rays can't go toe-to-toe offensively with the Dodgers. If these are like 12, 11 games, 15, 12 games, the Dodgers are going to win the series. And I think the Dodgers are going to have an advantage when it comes to this ballpark. Very oddly enough, because they're playing at a neutral site. They're playing in Texas, the Rangers' new park, Globe Life Park, I think it's called. The Dodgers have already played, I think, 15 games in this park. They played 3 games there during the regular season. They played 3 games against the Padres. They played 7 games against the Braves in the NLCS. They know this park a lot better than the Rays, even though the Rays are the American League team, and obviously the Rangers play in the American League, but this is the first time the Rays have ever played there. So that's something to keep an eye on, something very small, something that probably won't play into the series, but when these series are very close, and this series I think will be very close, I think this is going to go 6 or 7 games, something to keep an eye on and definitely an advantage to the Dodgers. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I both know, if you're a solid baseball fan, you know that this time of year, come October, come the World Series, it comes down to pitching. If you have good pitching, you are going to win and you're going to go deep into the playoffs. You're going to potentially win the World Series. And quite honestly, I just think the Rays have a little bit better pitching than the Dodgers. I know everyone's picking the Dodgers. I'm sticking with the Rays, though. I picked these dudes back in June. I'm going wire to wire with them, though, just like a jockey in the Kentucky Derby. I'm sticking with them. I think their starting pitching is a little bit better than the Dodgers. Walker Buehler is the best starting pitcher in this series. Once you get past him, there's a lot of question marks. And I know everyone says, oh, the pressure is off Clayton Kershaw. He doesn't have to be the guy. But let me tell you something. He needs to have at least one good start or the Dodgers aren't going to win this series. They have to rely on him big time. You don't know what May's going to do. I think he's pitching Game 3. Urias is pitching Game 4. he's not going to be in relief in the first 4 games. I think he's going to be in relief in Game 7. But I feel a little bit stronger about the Rays staff, 1 through 4. And Charlie Morton, he's like the best big game pitcher since Madison Bumgarner. This dude beat the Dodgers in Game 7 when he was with the Astros back in 2017. A lot of people forget about that. And then he beat the Astros again. He wasn't with the Astros. He's obviously not with the Astros anymore. He beat them again last week in Game 7. This dude's clutch. He's going to come through big in this series, as he always tends to do in these situations. And when it comes down to the bullpens, I think the Rays definitely have an advantage. I mean, Kenley Jansen, who's been a great closer for the Dodgers for many years now, he hasn't pitched very well towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. You know, the fact that Dave Roberts didn't use him in the 9th inning against the Braves in Game 7 speaks volumes. He's a little bit worried about that guy. The guy's been very shaky. Meanwhile, the Rays have 3 guys that can close. These guys are shut down. They're very good pitchers. I think the Rays definitely have the advantage in the bullpen. And quite honestly, I just don't think the Rays are going to make the mistakes that the Braves made in the NLCS. These guys have been in the playoffs for many years now. They've been knocking on the door. I mean, you can make an argument with regards to the Astros from last year. The Astros were probably one of the greatest teams last year that did not win the World Series. I am stunned those guys lost to the Nationals in the World Series. I mean, you think about it. They had the best pitcher probably in baseball in Garrett Cole. Justin Verlander won the Cy Young last year. And Tampa Bay was agonizingly close to knocking them out last year. Okay, these guys have played in a lot of big playoff series the last few years. They knocked out the Yankees in a very close series. They knocked out the Astros after going up 3-0. Then they lost the 3-0 lead. Most teams would just implode after that and then lose Game 7. They didn't. They didn't panic. They went out there, had a great game against the Astros, finished them off. These guys are ready. They're not going to have that deer in the headlight look that the Braves had the last 3 games against the Dodgers. It's just not going to happen. These guys play in the AL East. It's one of the toughest divisions in baseball. They got to play 20, 25 games in Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium. They're not going to be intimidated by the Dodgers. The Rays win this series in 7 games and win their first World Series title.
Cannot be serious!
Side note, if the Dodgers win the World Series, I might have to check into the witness protection program because I am an Angels fan living in the Los Angeles area. I don't live in Orange County, where all the Angel fans are. So there are many Dodger fans that are going to make my life a living hell. But you've heard enough of my nonsense. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below who wins the World Series and in how many games. And as always, hit that dislike button if you didn't like this video. Otherwise, enjoy the World Series and see you next time, guys. Take care.